Hello. How are you? Who is here? Or who will let me know they're here? Anyway, all right. So, just a little housekeeping. This is 3 more classes I'll teach on Saturday live. Hi, Joanne. How are you? So 3 more classes on YouTube. And then I'm going to go live, like in person, but not on YouTube. So, Joanne, I'll be back on Saturdays this summer. I'm going to try it and see how it goes. So, Saturday, July 15th is the first class. I think we're going to do 4 or 6 because I'm going to Bali at the end of the month in August. So, we're going to start on July 15th, see how that goes. So, a live class on Saturdays. I'll be live Tuesday and Wednesday. And I will only be on YouTube 1 day a week on Thursdays. So I think I have about 300 recorded classes, and that'll have to be what happens. And then maybe I'll make more recordings and post them. So anyway, want to let you know that if you want to sign up for that, Joanne, you've got to call Torrance Memorial or go online. So that, and it's on my website at debbierobinson.com. Hi, Pat. Hi, Stevie. So I have a class schedule page on my website, and you could find the number and even the link to Torrance Memorial there. So that's Saturday. I want to keep saying this for the next few weeks. Everybody understands and has a heads up about that. Tuesday, Wednesday classes will be both live and Zoom. So Tuesday, Wednesday, you could practice with me live and on Zoom. And then Saturday's only going to be live. I mean, live as in person. So sign up if you want to come to those. And then Thursday, I'll do my YouTube. All right. So I wanted to share with you all something. This morning, my girlfriend sent me a text. I'm working with her husband, running Functional Labs and working with him. And she told me, she said she was walking with him and something was happening. He was complaining about something. And she said, there's another way to look at this. And he said, yeah, I know, vitamin G. So she said to me, he got that from you. And so I thought, wow, for this man, especially men, because they just don't seem to, well, I shouldn't generalize, but it kind of happens that way. The whole self-care isn't quite as profound for men as it is for women, it seems. But for him to actually go back to that vitamin G is really amazing. So I researched it. I looked this morning to look at some of the components of vitamin G, gratitude, and it was talking about how it actually repatterns and retrains your brain. And what happens is when you are in a place of gratitude, you actually release dopamine, which is a happy neurotransmitter. And so the more you do it, the more you release, the more you want. So the more vitamin G you take or do, the more you want it because it will release dopamine. So I thought that was really amazing. So that was my morning research on gratitude. And just for her to say that, I thought that was pretty amazing. Hi, Carolyn. So I want to begin our practice today with vitamin G. And, yoga is a practice for mind and body. It is not just a physical practice. It is for the mind. And that's where deep healing takes place. That's also where pain and suffering is the greatest, is in the mind. So I definitely want to begin today's practice bathing ourselves with vitamin G and really being in that place, understanding that it's not just a little, silly thing to say. And yes, I call it vitamin G, gratitude. But it's gratitude. So we're going to begin that way. Hi, George. How are you? No, you're not late. You are on time, George. So does anybody have anything before I begin? Does anybody have anything physically that they wanted to address? Any body parts bothering you? or anything in particular you wanted to address. So let me know. But anyway, I'm just going to visualize all of you. Yes. Yeah, Stevie, there is more and more research, and there's so much more pain and suffering, it seems, in the world. So I've always felt this way. I mean, I think yoga is the answer for everything, but people think yoga is a physical practice, and yes, it is. And we have to keep our body strong and limber and mobile, but it is so much more than that. And it is the much more than that where all that healing takes place. Yeah. Yes, George, lots of vitamin G, super important. All right. So, okay, so if you are not going to direct me with stuff, then I'm free to roam in terms of body. All right. So, of course, I do have some things that I'm thinking of. For today's practice, I feel like it's so dark. Oh, it is dark. Okay, wait, one more light needs to go on. Okay. I felt like I was dark, or it was dark. All right. Okay. So for today's practice, let's get our props. I am going to use a bolster today for a few things that we're going to do. So this is a yoga bolster. Some of you have it, some of you don't. Grab some pillows, and especially harder pillows, like pillows that would be on a chair or a sofa. So get some pillows or an extra blanket, and then a strap and a block and a blanket. So either a few blankets or pillows from a sofa, like something that's got a little bit more substance to it. Because that'll help us today with some of what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to begin a certain way with this. So we're gonna actually begin today's practice taking lots and lots of doses of vitamin G. So you're going to go into your mind, into things you have in your life. And it could be big things. It could be smaller things. It could be the plants. I mean, lately I've been noticing my plants because spring just happened, or we're still in spring. So there's so much growth taking place. And I'm noticing my orchids blooming. I'm noticing more leaves on all my plants. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the beauty of the plants, but also they're what gives us oxygen, right? They take our carbon dioxide. So this relationship with plants. So something like that, or whatever you have in your life to be grateful for, because we all have things in our lives to be grateful for. So we're going to bring that into the beginning of the practice. I'm going to do an elevated chest opening. So I'm going to do a extension posture, which means a back bend. And I'm going to do this with a bolster. So you could do this with a bolster elevated. So when your arms go to the side, you're stretching your chest and your shoulders, or you could roll up your blanket and do it that way. So whatever it is for you, whatever you want to do, choose something. I'm going to put a blanket on the floor because that just sounds nice to sit on a blanket. So whatever it is, I want to come into a position where you could be really open with your chest. We can get a lot of great deep breathing and really be in this place of receiving gratitude. So coming down onto whatever it is you're choosing to come into, supporting your spine, your body. And when you come into your position, close your eyes. Closing your eyes, taking away distractions of the visual field, because there's a lot of that. And when you come down, just noticing anything you notice, noticing things in your body, and noticing how you feel in your body, how you feel in your mind, how you feel in terms of energy. And then bring your awareness to the ground and to the parts of you that is supported by the ground. So if you have an elevated bolster like I do, there's a lot of pressure on the pelvis or the base of the spine. So feel that grounding aspect of the base of your spine. So you could choose to have legs straight or knees bent, feeling either the heels or the soles of the feet on the ground, and feel the ground beneath you, supporting you. And then bring your awareness up to your spine, and whatever is supporting your spine, the blanket, the bolster, and the back of your head. And then your arms, let your arms go out to the side. And you could move them at first if you like, lubricating your shoulders, especially if you're someone that has issues in the shoulders, lots of shoulder issues. So if you have any tears in your shoulders or issues with your shoulders, moving your arms up and down, creating a little secretion in the shoulder joint of lubricating fluids so that your body can safely stretch and release. And then bring your arms to a static position. So in this position here, eyes are closed. Bringing in some things into your mind that you have in your life to be grateful for. So we're going to choose 5 things that we have to be grateful for. So choose one thing. Think of one thing in your life right now that you have to be grateful for. And visualize everything about that. Take a sensory bath in every aspect of that thing you're thinking of. What does it look like, feel like, smell like, taste like, if it's something you could taste? But let all of your senses feel or notice whatever it is you're thinking about that you're grateful for right now. Could be a person, could be an object. It could be this moment we have to actually take care of ourselves. And then smile in gratitude with that vitamin G dose that you're taking. And then move on to the next thing in your life you have to be grateful for. And again, what does it look like, feel like, taste like, smell like? And immerse yourself in every aspect of whatever it is you're being grateful for at this moment. And then move on to another thing you have in your life to be grateful for. And then another dose of vitamin G. And don't forget to add the smile, especially if you think about all the sensory aspects of what it is you're grateful for and what it does for you, why it is an object of gratitude for you. And then one more. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through your nose, filling yourself with all the sensory aspects of what you have to be grateful for. And then let's all take the same dose of vitamin G, the present moment, this right now, right here. The opportunity that we have right now. Let your awareness come into your body, moving down to your heart, breathing to your heart. And letting your awareness come into your body. This body that allows you to do all that you do. Takes you places, all the activities you do throughout the day that this body allows you to do. Walking, playing, dancing, whatever it is. And then bring your awareness to your belly. Let all your awareness go to the belly. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out of the nose. Begin to expand your belly with breath. Slow down the breath. Breathe to your belly, breathe deep to your belly so you feel stretching in your body. And then let that stretching go all the way down and back into the sides. So breathe down to your pelvic floor, the base of the spine. Feel how you can actually direct the breath into other parts of your body. Breathing down and back. We're going to take 5 last breaths. If you want to bring in your 5 doses of vitamin G, thinking about them with each breath, smiling and filling yourself with gratitude yet again for 5 items you have in your life to be grateful for. And then let the body begin to breathe itself. So give your breath back to your body. Let the pace become what it is. And with your eyes closed, start moving your body in a way that it feels like it wants to move. Almost like when you wake up in the morning and you start to stretch or yawn or move your limbs. So move into a way that feels good for your body right now to move. And then we're going to slowly move into a seated position. So come onto your side, either off the bolster or on the bolster, or whatever it is you have. So either all the way on the ground or stay elevated. And then take your hand on the floor. Make sure you don't use your head to come up. So you're going to use your pushing muscles to push away from whatever you're on to bring yourself all the way up. All right, it's impossible for us to be unhappy and grateful at the same time. So really not just a silly thing to do, but rather something to help set the tone for your level of happiness in life. It is the only life we have. Let's make it be the best it can be. So focusing on what we have and not what we don't have. And even when it comes to your body, so we are going to move our bodies, keep them strong, limber, and mobile, and be grateful for whatever it is you could do. All right, so let's clear the space. Take your blanket, fold your blanket, and we will use our bolster. So if you have a bolster or a pillow or folded blankets, so you have a little bit more space, take your block off to the side. Let's do a little warm up with the bolster. So the higher the bolster is, the easier this will be. We're going to move through joints and load up our joints with body weight. And when we do this, we actually stretch deeper in our joints. So the bolster will be really important for a lot of us, especially women. So guys have a little more advantage when it comes to upper body strength. So when we come, we're going to come through a flow here to warm up. We're going to come back into either puppy dog, tushy is high, or child's, for those that practice child's pose. Not good if you have osteoporosis though. And we're going to come from here up, and then you're going to load up your arms, keep your elbows alongside your body until you come down. And then you're going to come down, let go of your weight. You're going to bring your head forward, introducing the back bend into your spine, and then bending your hips to bring your tushy and pelvis back. So that's the flow we're going to do to warm up our body. I'd like you to close your eyes when you do this and feel your spine moving. Feel your muscles loading up joints, bending the hips a lot and the spine. So big spinal warm-up movement here. So put something in front of you and then bring your knees onto your blanket. Take your hands forward and begin by bringing yourself back so that your forehead touches your blanket, and walk your hands forward. Exhale. Inhale, bring yourself up, spread your fingers, and then the exhale, you lower down. So bend the elbows, bring them in towards your body. Let your body come down. And then when you inhale, reach your nose like you're pushing a marble away. Start that back bend in your spine at the neck, and then bring that into the thoracic spine. Then bring yourself back with the exhale. Inhale forward, exhale to lower, inhale to rise. Moving through your joints, close your eyes, feel this in your body. Move at your pace. Try to keep your arms straight until you bend to lower down. Go slow. Each breath, one movement. If you want a little bit more work, you could take the bolster away. It'll start to bring a little bit more muscles when you lower down. Close your eyes. Feel this in your body. Finishing up your last movement. And then bring yourself back up. Come all the way into a puppy dog. So let your tushy stay in the air. Your arms are forward. Let your forehead either touch the floor or bring your bolster back. Long spine. Notice if your heart rate accelerated. Take one more breath. Then bring yourself up. Bring your pelvis towards the ground, stretching the front of the body. Let your head go up. Exhale, bend your hips, bring yourself back. Keep your arms straight. Inhale forward. Stretch the belly, pull the lower ribs away from the pelvis, let the pelvis move towards the ground. If it's too intense, put your bolster back, let your pelvis come towards your bolster. Exhale back, bending the hips, stretching the chest, the spine. Inhaling forward, stretching the belly, the throat, let your chin go up towards the sky. Go slow, rolling around in your shoulders and your hips. One more each direction. Bring yourself back. And then bring yourself up. Coming all the way up. Noticing how you feel. Notice your heart rate. So take a break here in whatever way you need. So kneeling if you can. You can sit on your bolster if you'd like. Then close your eyes. Keep your mouth closed, eyes closed. Feel your heart beating. And feel that movement of energy through your body. And then blink your eyes open. So let's do something else with that bolster. So bring the bolster here. If you don't have a bolster, have something elevated because we're gonna strengthen our back. We're gonna bend forward and let our head come to the bolster. And then from here, lifting up with the back muscles to come back up. So hip flexion, using the lower back muscles, the glutes, to do this action. We're gonna add the hands. So having something there, if it's a challenge to come down, having your block there so you don't go down as far. And especially if any of you have back issues. So we are gonna be using the back muscles. So if you do have issues with your low back, be careful here with this. We wanna try to activate the right muscles. So lengthening the glutes as we go down, really pushing the center of the buttocks back, loading up that hip joint, using the glutes, the hamstrings, the low back muscles to come down. And then we come up, leading with the head to bring yourself up, unbending the hips, letting the glutes contract. All right, hands are down alongside your body. Inhale. As you exhale, let your hands turn up. Your head is lifted. You push your buttocks back. Bring yourself down. Let your hands come onto the lower back. And then inhale to lift. Coming back. Let your hands roll forward. Exhale, palms turn back, tushy back. Go slow. The slower you go, the more work this is for the back of the body. Exhale to lower. Push your glutes back. Bend your hip. Keep your spine long. Do not bend your spine at all. One more. And then slowly bring yourself up. Come all the way up. All right. Take your bolster and put it somewhere. Take your fingers, bend your fingers. Take your hands, so pretty wide with your hands. Point your fingers are pointing forward, and then wide with your knees. Spread your toes under, and then push your tushy back so your low belly comes close to your top thighs. Lift your knees up away from the ground. Then let's stretch our calves. For any of you with tight calves or issues in your calves, keep your tushy in the air. The bend is in the hips. And push one heel at a time towards the ground. And focus on the pinky toe edge of the back of the heel, pressing towards the ground. Feel that deep calf stretch. And then push both heels towards the ground. Push the low belly towards the top thighs. Spread your fingers, press your hands into the ground. And then bring your knees down. Come down, catch your breath in whatever is the best way for you to do that. Close your eyes, close your mouth, and breathe down to your belly. And then take one more breath. So modify according to whatever you need. A little more strength maybe right now, but that's gonna help give us a body for us to do all the things we want to do in our lives. So let's come on to plank. Take your hands. So with the plank, you could either come into full plank, modified plank, or if you have wrist issues, you could come down into either full forearm or modification of forearm. So choose what is the right position for you to be in. Take your hands, spread your hands, and then bring one foot back and then the other, or whatever you're going to be doing. And then push away from the ground with your hands and with your feet. And then let's do a little bit of trunk stabilizing work. So take one foot and move it off to the side slowly. So up and off, and then up and back. Keep your spine long, keep your head active. And then let's do the other side. So trunk stability and hip joint strength. Push through your heels, take one more breath. And then bring your knees down. Take your knees wide, resting in puppy dog. So puppy dog, tushy stays in the air. Deep hip flexion, arms stay straight. Forehead moves to the floor or towards the floor. Deep breaths. Push your heart towards the ground. See if you could feel a stretch underneath the armpits. And let's stretch the side of the body. So take your hands over to the right. Walk your hands over to the right. Make sure that your tushy is moving back. You don't want your buttocks to be right above your knees or forward of your knees. You want the weight of your pelvis moving away. Keep your arms straight. Hands are over to the right, and then push your hips to the left. Let your head rest on your left arm and feel the left side of your body stretch, and breathe to the left side. Pushing the left rib cage to the left side rib cage to the left hip. Let your head really rest on your left arm and feel that deep stretch along the side of your body. Take one more breath. Then bring yourself up. Take your arms, straight arms, walk them over to the left. And then when you come here, push your pelvis back, push your hips to the right, let your head rest on your right arm. Weight of the pelvis is pulling away from the hands and the arms are straight. Feel that in the right side of your body and breathe to the right side. Push the right side ribs towards the right, deepen the stretch. And take one more breath. Bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself up and out. And then shake your arms. Bring yourself up into a kneeling position. So that was lateral chain or side body, especially right here alongside the body. Let's do a little more with that. So coming up, we're going to do gate latch pose. So come up onto your blanket and take your foot out to the side so that your toes are pointing forward, your leg is perpendicular to your foot, and then activate the foot so that the arch is lifting off the ground. Don't let this collapse. Try to get this, and if you need to move your leg forward for a little bit more freedom in your hip, you could do that. And then let your pelvis move here, bending in that hip joint. See how that feels when you move your pelvis. And then take your hand alongside your body. So this is a side bend. Make sure there's not a lot coming forward. So as if you were up against the wall and your whole body was touching the wall and you were moving with the wall. So take one hand on the side of your leg, the other hand out to the side. Reach down with that, exhale, and then inhale up. Let your hands slide down towards your foot, active foot. Really reach up, feel that stretch on this side of your body, and then bring yourself back. Inhale, go slow, exhale. And then with resistance, as if you're moving in a pool of honey. We're going to hold. Stay here. Keeping your hand down towards your foot, the other hand up towards the sky. Lift your heart, lengthen your spine. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself slowly out. So we're going to go to the other side. So coming onto the other side, take your foot out, perpendicular. So get the foot first, stretching the ankle joint. So notice how this feels for you. And then if you need to move the foot forward, try that. And then start to bring that bend into the hip joint here. Make sure this feels okay. So tensor fascia lata, iliotibial band that attaches to the lower leg bone. Lots of strong connective tissue here. Need to keep this limber for protection of hip, of knee, but also of gait and the whole entire function of your body, keeping all the joints in good alignment to minimize wear and tear. And then take your hand down on your leg, your other hand down, reach down, exhale, and then inhale up and exhale. Movement and breath. That's when we're practicing yoga. Stay here. Reach up with your hand. Let your hand move down your leg towards your foot. Long spine, lifted heart. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Shake your arms. Flip your toes under. And for those that still have bendable knees, sit back on your heels. Bring the soles of your feet into the deepest stretch possible and bring the ankles close towards each other. And for those that don't have bendable knees, you can stay up and flip your toes under and try to stretch your feet. Maybe even moving back a little, if that's possible. And then working towards maintaining or getting a little bit more flexibility in your knees if it's possible. And then bring yourself up. So I'd like to teach you a lower back stretch. It's called turtle. Not so great for osteoporosis. So if you have osteoporosis, I wouldn't do this. Let's do this with an elevated bolster. So take your bolster, fold your bolster. So I'm going to show you this posture from the front, and I'll turn to the side. Soles of the feet are together. Hands go through your legs. You walk your hands under, and then you bring your hands onto your feet or out to the side. You use the pressure of the forearm pressing into your leg bone to lengthen your spine. So push your tailbone down and lengthen your spine. Turtle. I'll show you that from the side. So there is a flexion of the spine here. So those with osteoporosis, you don't want to put compressive force right here in the middle of your spine. So not for those with osteoporosis, but those who don't have it, it could be a really great low back stretch. Push your tailbone and your pelvis towards the ground. You're trying to create space between lower ribs and top of the pelvis and the muscles of the back of your body. You could bring your hands, you could bring your head forward, lengthening your spine. Feel that stretch in the back of the body. Close your eyes, deep breaths. And then take one more breath. And then bring yourself up. So I'm looking forward to being live and being able to determine what is manageable for most bodies. So I'm not sure about turtle, how manageable that is for most. We'll soon find out. All right, let's do a twist while we're up here seated. So sitting on your blanket, you got to come to the front of it and then move the muscles. So reach under and grab the flesh and move it away. So you expose your sits bones. Take your block. Let's go to the left side first. So take your block on the left side, and then your legs are straight. Right toes are up towards the sky. Take your left knee, bend your left knee, and then hold on to your left leg and get as tall as you can here. We're going to add spinal rotation. And when we do this, you need to make sure you're safe in your spine. Your spine is lengthened and not in flexion. So long spine, holding onto your leg. Take your right hand, keep your elbow bent, and then take your left hand on the block behind you. Push down and get tall. Active right foot and active left foot. So push your feet into the ground, and that'll help to protect the low back. Exhale. And then inhale. Your lower ribs, your middle ribs, and your upper ribs rotate to the left. Once you get here, pushing your feet into the ground, lower your shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, lift your heart. Keep your elbows active and bent. You're not leaning on that back hand. You're pushing away from the ground with your feet and your hand to get long and add rotation. Take one more breath. Keeping your spine long, don't collapse your spine, coming back through center. Push the block over to the other side. Let's go to the other side. Straighten the left leg, bending the right knee. So this is the best way to actually strengthen the vertebra, to pull on them from many different angles. So it's good for strengthening your spine, and you want to be careful though that you are appropriate and you apply the appropriate forces. So press the left foot into the ground, right leg or right foot. Hold on to the right leg with the left arm. Hand is on the block behind you on the right side. Push down to get tall in your spine. Exhale. And as you inhale, lower ribs, middle ribs, and upper ribs rotate to the right. Pelvis is heavy, spine is long. Lower your shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, lift your heart. And then breathe to your belly. Deep rest to your belly, long spine, lifted heart. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Come back to center. Take your feet wide. Bring your legs into a pretty wide straddled position. Make sure you're forward on your blanket. That'll help with this. You could take your block here so that you can keep your spine nice and long, especially if you feel a lot of tightness in your legs. For those that are pretty limber, you could bend forward into this if you have a straight spine. So this is not about coming forward with your head and spine. This is about bending your hip joint if that exists for you in your body. So only do it if you can. Bringing yourself forward. Or being where you are, because it might be enough to just be upright with this. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself up. And bring your legs back. So it's nice to notice where you have tightness, because then you have the opportunity to start creating more space in those areas. Let's take our strap, do a little posture correction here. A little strengthening of the back. Take your strap around your feet. And then move your feet so that they're body distance. So probably almost a whole block to go in between them. You actually could put a block there if you can get to your feet. And then crisscross your straps. And then bring your elbows alongside your body. Pulling back with the strap. This will help you lengthen your spine. Activating the back muscles. Pulling back with the strap. Squeeze the block. Reach through the heels. Push your legs into the ground. So really strongly push the legs into the ground. Squeeze the block. Pull on the straps to get even taller in your chest, in your spine, and see if you can lift your heart, adding a little back bend to the upper spine. Push your legs down to keep that nice deep hip flexion. Elbows back, heart lifted. Take one more breath. And then release. All right, we're going to come down onto the ground, and we're going to use the bolster to do some twisting. So getting yourself ready, put the blanket at the top of the mat, and get your bolster or pillows or whatever it is you're using. Bring that within reaching distance. And then coming down onto the ground, bring yourself all the way down. Always feels so nice to come down onto the ground every time. It's kind of relaxing. So let the blanket be underneath your head, not on your body. So move it away from you so it's only that your head is supported. For those that are tighter in the hips and the legs, fold your blanket a little bit more so that you can move the lower body freely, or a little more free. Take your feet body distance and then a little wider, so you're not quite all the way to the sides of the mat yet. And bring your arms out to the sides, palms are up towards the sky. Close your eyes, bring your awareness to your kneecaps. And begin to move the kneecaps from side to side. Keep the soles of the feet on the ground. Go slow. Close your eyes. Feel the weight moving from one side to the other. And feel what parts of your body stretch when you do this. Soles of the feet are on the ground. You're not going too far to the sides yet. And then start to go a little farther.
Now the soles of the feet can roll off the floor. The knees are going a little farther to the side. The stretch is coming in a little deeper to your body. Notice where it goes. When you come back up, exhale and push your belly button towards your spine, and then slowly go to the other side. This is a good diagnostic movement for how you move in rotation. And for those with low back issues, to see if everything goes back to your back, or are you able to neutralize your pelvis so that you're in the front of the body, the sides, and the back. So as you go side to side with your eyes closed, notice if you feel a stretch in the front, and then start to move where you actually tilt your pelvis backwards and you try to roll across the top edge of your pelvis, the back edge, from side to side. Activating the core, posterior tilt in your pelvis, safer movement in your body. See how that feels. And then bring yourself back up to center. Take your feet all the way off the mat. So the soles of the feet are off the mat. And now do this. Inhaling, your legs go to the side. Exhale, contract your core. You could press the top edge of your pelvis down into the ground, continuing with that on the way back up. And then inhaling to release. Exhaling, top edge of the pelvis. Go slow and feel this. Breath and movement and body awareness. The next time your legs come over to the left, stay there. Let your head move to the right. Take your right hand off the ground. Let the fingernails touch the ground. Bend the wrist. Reach through the heel of the right hand. Push the right kneecap away. Unbend that right hip. Push the heart up towards the sky. Breathe to your right side. To the waist, to where the leg attaches to your body, and to the low back on the right side. Take one more breath. And then let's go to the other side. Slowly let your knees come up and over. Head goes to the left, lifting that left hand away. Fingers touch the ground, reach through the heel of the hand. Press the left kneecap away, unbend the left hip, press the heart up towards the sky. Breathing to the left low belly, left low back, and the left lower part of your body where your leg attaches. So let the breath go down there. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself back to center. Walk your feet back. Bring your left hand up, bring your left knee and hold on to your kneecap from above. Hold on to the kneecap. Right hand, let that right leg come in. And this is where having extra blanket folding behind your head may be helpful if you feel a lot of tension here in the low back. Inhale, arms are straight. Exhale, slowly draw your knees in towards your chest. Pelvis is tilting back, low back presses into the ground, top thighs press into your belly. Inhale to release. Exhale, knees to chest. Inhale to release. This is Apanasana, wind releasing pose. Really therapeutic posture for your spine, for digestion, for your abdominal area. And then keep your knees in. Take one foot up towards the sky, then the other. Take your hands behind your thighs, and then move the knees away from each other, spreading your legs. Draw your knees towards your shoulders in a happy baby posture. And rock side to side across the low back. If you're able to reach up with 2 fingers in between big toe, second toe, and put the thumb on your big toenail, try that. Whatever you're doing, holding onto your hamstrings or your feet, draw the knees towards your arms and have your feet spread quite a distance so they're not near each other. Rocking side to side. And then bring your soles of your feet back together. Slowly bring your feet onto the ground. So let's do a little bit for glutes here. So the glutes help to mobilize the hip joint. So when your knees are bent, you have a bent hip joint here. Let's activate the back of the body to unbend the front of the body. So let the glutes do the work to unbend the hips. We're going to lift the pelvis away from the ground, only up to about the lower ribs. Make this very glute and hip joint focused. Move your feet so that you're in a neutral position. Then your arms are out to the side. Inhale. As you exhale, start to contract your glutes. Push your feet into the floor. Lift your pelvis away from the floor with the intention of unbending your hips with your glutes, the activation of the glutes. Go slow. And then inhale to release. Exhale to lift. Inhale to release. Go slow. Notice if there's wavering of your pelvis as you go back down. So close your eyes. Feel this. Try to unbend your hips all the way. And on this last one, stay up there. Unbending the hip joint, lifting the pelvis, reaching long with the knees. Contract your glutes, squeeze. Deep breaths, mouth is closed. And then go ahead and lower down. So walk your feet, walk your feet so that they're hip distance. So they're exactly where they need to be coming off your body. Contract your glutes. Lift your pelvis away from the ground towards unbending your hip joint, either all the way there or almost all the way there. Push your left foot into the floor. Contract that glute. Lift the right knee up, either foot just off the floor or hover higher. And then slowly put the right foot down. Press both feet into the floor. Activate your glutes. Lift the left leg up. Keep your pelvis stable. Don't let it rock side to side. Continue to do this with breath. First, get that contraction of your muscle before you lift the opposite side up. Stabilize your trunk. And do one more each side. Bring yourself back to neutral. Contract your glutes, lift your pelvis, and then slowly lower all the way down. Let's stretch the glutes. Draw your knees into your chest. Take your right lower leg bone over the left. And then reach your head up. Take hands to the side. Hold on to the soles of the feet. Thumbs are in the arches. Hands are on the top of the feet. And pull the knees towards your chest. Rock side to side. And feel that stretch in the glutes and that posterior hip. The more you bring your knees towards your chest or towards your shoulders, the deeper the stretch will be. And then let's switch. So now you take the left leg on top of the right, reach your head up if you need, hold on to your feet, draw them away from each other, and then push the legs towards your shoulders. And then go ahead and release. Get your strap. We're going to go into bridge and we're going to use a strap. We'll get a little higher, getting a nice deep back bend in your spine. So take your strap, loop it if you can, or tie it, or use exercise bands if you have those. Bring your feet through the strap. So when you push out on the strap, you have a little space between your legs. Moving the blanket away from the back of the body. So we want to try to bend the spine as much as possible here. Walking the feet closer to your body. Arms are either alongside your body like this or down at the side. So push your hands into the floor, lift your upper rib cage away from the ground and slide your shoulder blades towards each other. Lift your head up, lengthen your neck. Push your feet into the floor, push out on the block, and tilt your pelvis back. Inhale. As you exhale, push out on the strap, push your feet into the floor, squeeze your buttocks. So all the attention is in the back of the body. Really squeeze the back of the body, push your arms into the floor, unbend your spine to come up away from the floor slowly, and then inhale, lowering back down. So a dynamic flowing bridge. As you exhale, pushing out on the strap, pushing your feet into the floor, squeezing the buttocks, unbending your spine or bending your spine. Go slow. Breath with movement. On the next one, you're going to come up and stay up for 3 breaths. If you're able to clasp your hands. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through the nose. And then bringing yourself all the way down. Blanket back underneath your head, strap off. Knees are in at your chest. So grab your bolster or pillows or whatever you're using and bring that over to your right side. Push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up, push your pelvis over to the left. Keep your rib cage where it is, and then let the pelvis go down onto the ground. Draw the right knee up and the left. Keep your hands alongside the body. So try to keep your rib cage on the ground, Don't let the left shoulder move away from the floor as you let your knees move over to the right. So you're either going to end up on top of your pillows, or if you have a little bit more flexibility in your body, you may put the pillows or whatever you have between your legs. A supported twist. Keep the left shoulder blade, the left arm on the ground. If you'd like to take the right hand on top of the left, you can, and then turn your head to the left. And breathe to your left side. Push your heart up towards the sky, lengthen your spine. Take one more breath. Take your prop, bring it either over to the left or take it out, whatever's the easiest for you at first. Then draw the knees up towards your chest. Push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up, put your pelvis in a neutral position first, and then set up your space. Your bolster will either be on the ground or it's going to come between your legs. Arms are to the side. Keep your rib cage where it is without letting it tilt. So we're rotating the lower body here. Push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up, push your pelvis over to the right, keep your rib cage where it is. Put the pelvis on the ground, one knee in and then the other, letting your lower body rotate to the left, either on top of the bolster or put it in between your legs. Holding on to the right leg. If you'd like, let your head go to the right. Close your eyes, deep breaths. Stay connected to your breath. Take one more breath. And then bring your bolster off to the side. Your body back to center. Push your feet into the floor, lift your pelvis up, draw your knees into your chest. So we're going to come into Shavasana, letting all that we did in the practice today seep into our everything, right? Find its new home, new space. Let your legs go in the air. Shake your legs. Point your feet and flex. Point and flex. And then circles with your ankles, one direction then the other. So if you have a bolster or blankets or pillows, putting them underneath your legs can be a really nice relaxation position for hips, for pelvis, for low back. Or choose whatever feels appropriate for you for Shavasana. Letting go. Stay connected to your breath. Mouth is closed, breathing in and out through the nose. Begin to deepen your breath. Start to bring movement into your body. Drawing the knees into the chest. Bring yourself onto your side. Pushing away from the ground. Coming up to a seated or kneeling position. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your hands together. Press your hands to your heart. Mouth is closed. Another dose of vitamin G to end the practice. So bring to mind something you're grateful for and immerse yourself in all the sensory aspects of whatever it is you're grateful for. We'll close that with a beautiful humming sound. Exhale to create space. Inhale all the way down to the base of your spine. Bring your hands up to your forehead. We're in a bow in gratitude for the practice, for this time we've had together, for this time we've had with ourselves. So you could bow and say thank you, or you could say namaste. Namaste is a mutual recognition of each other. It means I bow. So, lots of dopamine in today's practice if you were really immersed in your vitamin Gs, and lots of good stuff for the body. Have a beautiful day. All right. So, let's see how you're all feeling. I feel really relaxed. For those of you that were late, if you didn't hear me already, I'm not doing Saturday YouTubes anymore. Well, not for a little while. So I'm going live. I'm going to be in person. Good, George. Yes, namaste. Vitamin G. Yeah, it was a lovely vitamin G day, right, Carolyn? So let's continue. Vitamin G all day long. Great. Thanks, Joanne. So two more Saturday classes on YouTube. Then I'm off for the week of July 4th. And then I'm live in Southern California for those of you that live here. If you want to sign up, go to my website, DebbieRobinson.com. It's right up there. And there is a phone number, or I think you can directly link out to Torrance Memorial. But that's the only way you'll be able to practice with me on Saturday. The only YouTube day I'll do is Thursday, and then everything else will be through Torrance Memorial for the summer, and we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to go. So have a wonderful day. I hope you guys feel great, and keep taking your vitamin G. All right. Bye.